Alright, well, we just got the key to open up the fuel pump, so it's time to go do that. Welcome back. Yep, we're trying to finish up grabbing the ships so we can evacuate people. And I wandered a little too far over. So this time, I figured I would go ahead and talk about, what more could have existed for Septerra Core beyond the prototype-led action figure I mentioned last time. There existed a concept for expansion to Septerra Core back at the time of its release. Due to events that occur at the end of the game that I've been strongly hinting at, but, you know, haven't explicitly said yet, the idea of a sequel is something that would take a lot more effort. It's not something that you could realistically just slap on as a mission pack the way you might be able to do that with a... Well, you might be able to do that with some games. But the concept that they came up with instead was a set of prequel chapters that would have told stories surrounding the resource wars, various characters that were mixed up in that, revealing a bit of the past of each of the different characters, giving you an opportunity to play as additional characters that weren't playable in the original game, alongside all the characters that were playable in the original game, and going through their personal stories to see key moments in their lives. So, for instance, the first chapter would have been about Badu dealing with being in the crossfire of the resource wars and trying to protect his people. And there would have been an additional Underlost character and a Jinam soldier who got caught up. It's like who ended up in a situation where he had to work alongside the Underlost in order to survive. This is all stuff that comes from B-Man's actual blog, so if you want to check that out, you can follow that link I already have in the description. And after the final part, there's a link that leads to a section called Games that he didn't make, that talks about these specific games. Gives a little bit of insight into this situation. Anyway, Chapter 2 would have been focused on Aram and Lobo and their time during and just after the Resource Wars. Including how Lobo lost his arms... Sorry, how Aram lost his arms, and... Jeez. And, let's see, what else was it? Lobo's, being freed from the control chip that was in his brain. So we're missing this pipe over here.
This is a fuel pump, but that pipe is broken.
So the way we fix it is the pipe we picked up a long time ago.
That should fix the pipe, but the pump is still locked off.
And we can fix the pump being locked off by using the key. And there we go.
Alright, that should do it. This pump is up and working.
Now we just gotta go and talk to the guy and we can get our ships. The third chapter would have been based around... let's see... well, the third and fourth chapters, I don't remember which order they were in, but they would have been based around... one of them would have been based around Lead, and her... you know, adventures slash the event that cost her her legs. As well as uncovering a plot by some forces in Jinam to restart the wars. Another chapter would have been focused on Corgan and Layla investigating some shenanigans in Rim City regarding Dugan, that the wannabe dictator that got immediately killed by Doskias as soon as he handed over the city to him. Yeah, that idiot. So we gotta see how he attempted to raise himself to power before he, you know, grew a brain. Or something. And then the fifth of the 6 prequel chapters would have been playing as Selena, Caleb, and Balcom, and working to build Doskias' forces before the conflict extended into the main story. This one also would have intersected with Maya's story, as it would have ended with the destruction of the original Oasis and the death of Maya's mother. And then the final chapter would have been Maya, Grub, and Runner working to undermine the mayor in his little mini despotic actions in the earlier parts of the series, before the events of the game. Which would have ended with Grub essentially leaving Oasis to become a hermit, like he did, which is why he has his workshop outside the town at the beginning of the game. And these are just really basic outlines, but there's also some on the blog. There's also some actual art that exists to sort of flesh this out. So this wasn't just like some concept made up out of nothing. There was at least some actual intention to maybe follow through with this. It would have been likely, if it were created, it probably would have relied on Monolith to provide the funding and the publishing. which would have been kind of interesting for international distribution, considering that Monolith was only North American distribution for the game. But unfortunately, this never ended up happening. This would have been at the time of, like, full expansion pack releases, where you'd have to go to the store and buy the box that has the CD in it, and then you'd be able to, you know, take your CD and be like, hey, you gotta have this, and then you also have to own the original game, and then you'd install it, and it would have... The concept would have been that you could play it any time from the main menu.
Your fuel supply is back.
None too soon as well. The ships are yours as agreed, but who'll you get to fly them?
I thought you would.
I can't fly 3 ships, girl. Besides, my fortune awaits elsewhere.
What about Lobo's crew?
Jinam pilots? They wouldn't know the first thing. You'll find pilots. Marduk knows there's enough of them in the bazaar.
But
The ships are in the docks. Here's a key to grant you access. I hate to run off, but you understand, don't you?
Now what am I gonna do?
Well, we got our key. We can get to the ships, but we need pilots. But, like you said, we could just go to the bazaar to get pilots. And considering that, you know, the bazaar is exactly where Doskias intends to raise a chunk of continent and kill a bunch of people, it kind of feels like maybe they'd be willing to just come along and work for free. And if they're not, we have like 300,000 gold. I think we could afford to hire a few people.
Is there a city plan where I could find directions?
The city has no plan. Each new section was added by...
That didn't help. I was hoping I could ask around to somebody and say, hey, find some pilots.
Hello, take your time.
Oh, this is different. Hello, gentlemen.
Do any of you pilot ships?
Just every one of us, baby.
Alright, I have some ships in need of pilots. Do you think you could help?
Yeah, help don't pay the bills, girl. What's in it for us?
I can't pay you, but if you help me, afterwards you can keep the ships.
Now that sounds like a deal. What's the mission?
Evacuating the southeastern part of the bazaar.
Ooh, you think big, huh? Well, let's get on with it.
Well, you know, for...
In the name of our Empress Alisa, I command you to surrender the Jinam device to me. The shell must be raised at all costs. The world must be saved.
You'll have to kill me to get it.
So be it.
Well, that's unfortunate. Alright. It's time to have Corgan and Selena work together again. Considering they'll have to work together at the end of the game, so... Attack all targets with sonic waves. Guess I should have just stabbed him. May as well show off some of these powerful abilities. Huh. Must need more core energy for that to work. Demon Force. Let's slice this guy up. Actually, no, it's just Destroyer is what this one's called. Single target Big Bang. Wow, only 154. Wow, I can actually see his health. Very unexpected. Well, you're not usually the one I use for casting, but we gotta get that barrier back up. Serve. 74 left on him. I don't think he can really be poisoned. Let these two charge up, and we'll use Badu to get everybody up to a little bit better health. Ghost Force. A little more. And Ghost Force should finish it.
No! Maya must have time to escape. The continent will take her with it.
Well, that was unfortunate. Okay, please remove the heals and run faster.
Go on, I'll follow in the last ship.
You have something that belongs to me.
Alisa, what are you doing here? What did you do with the Doomsday blueprints?
We tried to duplicate the device, but failed.
So now you're helping Doskias?
Until I can destroy him and retake my rightful place as Empress of the Chosen. The ancient talisman you have is an Imperial seal of the Chosen, and matches the one my father gave me before he died. It is mine by birthright.
You mean the one the Watchers sent me to get? They said I would need it, but I don't understand what it's for.
Surrender it or die.
The Watchers entrusted it to me.
Then die.
Well, this seems like a very stupid idea on her part. This fight might go a little easier with having, you know, a lot more magic power. I would say curse your son but inevitable betrayal, but you were barely a character in this game at this point. It honestly feels kind of a little weird that you're even bothering some... Wow. Okay. Okay. You have indeed shown that you are a threat. I'm not sure you should have done that for your own sake, but it has been noted. Of course. She's an actual boss, the other guy isn't, apparently. Uh-oh. One moment. I got the dot key. Okay, well, that was, yeah.
Hello, take your time. Sake.
Do...
Okay. Yeah, so the game just crashed. I didn't expect that at all. So... Wow, wow, wow. I didn't know you could be poisoned. That's handy. Magic. Selena sure is taking most of the punishment here. Ghost Force. Care of that.
No!
And of course he blows up the device. Okay. Try to avoid a crash this time. Here. Up. Cancel the barrier. And this might do it. Nope. There she goes. Okay, so no more using single targets.
Failed. The continent begins to rise. My forces must have been successful.
What did they do?
Destroyed the Jinam device. Now the world will be saved.
It's a royal seal.
Oh, and I think that's either the last fate card or the second to last fate card. Actually, I think it's the last one. Let me check. Yep, that's the last one. The Joker fate card. It's just random status ailments. So, now we have the seal. And the chosen talisman. And you'll notice that their shapes
They
fit together.
together. I wonder why.
Well, we're definitely going to need that for the future. And there's where the chunk is missing. Thankfully, this time we were able to get a lot of people out. I wonder if this is related to that Lens Forest tunnel. Well, for now... Her. Pretty decent defense. Okay. For you. Obviously that. And we want to give you the strength item of some kind. Metal buckle. Nothing more directly powerful. Yeah, we'll just give you the status ailment. Protection. Actually, since they were able to raise the continent, of course, this place was destroyed. I guess there were a few people that didn't quite make it out. And that is the penultimate side quest of the game. Gave us sticky fingers, which improves stealing chance. We got some new knives for Badu. Speed knives, I believe, which greatly increases speed. At the cost of having the worst stats in every other category. So, really not a great choice. Alright, let's go talk to Watcher Layla and find out what the heck we do next. I mean, it seems like we were able to evacuate the vast majority of the people, despite the secret weapon not actually lasting too terribly long. all that work for almost nothing. Well, nothing we were actively looking for, but definitely something we should need.
Layla, we evacuated as many people as we could. With the Jinam device destroyed, there is no way we can stop Doskias from raising the next shell.
That is why we must take the fight to him.
But we're not strong enough to stop him.
You will be. Doskias wields the mighty sword of Gemma, a dark rune blade of great power.
It was the only reason he could defeat Gunnar in combat.
And the only way you will be able to defeat Doskias is to find the only weapons that can rival his blade. The twin demon swords of Marduk.
But where?
In Marduk's lost city, Babylon, hidden on World Shell 4. You must retrieve the swords. The final battle is upon us, and the fate of the world rests on your shoulders. Soon the planet will begin to collapse. You must stop Doskias and win the gift of the Creator. Only then will you be able to save the world.
But how can I find a city that no one has seen in thousands of years?
Find Kira's mirror, and it shall provide you the key in your search. I will leave you with one last warning. Do not pollute Marduk's inner temple with violence. It is said that the spirits will exact revenge for such a desecration.
Marduk's demon swords are a legendary source of power.
You will wield them well along with Selena.
Selena? Carry a demon sword? Unthinkable!
You must forgive her for what she did, dear Corgan. We must all grow and learn.
To think I will have to wield a demon blade of Marduk against Doskias.
You must put aside your feelings, Selena.
When will Doskias attempt his next shell movement?
Soon. The world quickly runs out of time, and if we cannot stop Doskias, thousands will die. Kira's mirror shall provide you the key in your search.
Why must we not commit any acts of violence inside Marduk's inner temple?
The spirits in the city are very restless. They guard the ruins and protect the treasures hidden within. But inside the temple, Marduk proclaimed it sacrilegious to commit violence. We must do as the ancients suggest and heed the ways of the spirits.
What exactly is Kira's mirror?
An ancient relic. Dogo fashioned it, and Kira used it to reflect light towards the sky, where it created the stars of the heavens. Marduk followed the brightest to Gemma's hidden fortress, where he marshaled the armies of the Seven Winds and rescued Kira and the world from damnation.
Where can I look for Marduk's ancient city?
Babylon on Shell 4, where now rests the World Bazaar. Search there.
When will Doskias again use the Doomsday device?
Doskias is waiting for the right moment to raise the next shell, and until he does, we will not know where or what continent it will be.
What will happen when the last piece is moved into place?
The outer surface of the planet will form ancient runes.
But what good will it do?
It will grant the one who carries out the prophecy the gift of the Creator.
But what is it?
The power to save the world.
That's all speculation, really. But... So... you have to create Kira's mirror. Now, if you remember way back, we know who has the frame for Kira's mirror. It's Connor, who's hiding on Shell 5. But we also need a reflective surface for Kira's mirror. But, as luck would have it, we did already find one. Well, sort of.
Do you know of Kira's mirror?
Created lights in sky, it did. Made of Doric ore and diamond.
Doric ore?
Silvery ore in ground. It combined with corite real good.
So, because we got the Doric ore... Huh, that's odd. He's supposed to be able to combine these together. I don't really know exactly what's impeding him at the moment. Let's talk to the hermit.
Aren't you gonna thank me for healing you?
No!
Okay. I know we need the mirror frame. Mirror frame. Once we have it... We already have the door. We already have the ore. I see. I need the frame before I can convince him to actually make the piece that I need to put with the frame. I figured that might have been the case, I just wanted to double check. So now, we have to go deal with the pirate Connor. Well... Only one party we should be taking to deal with Connor. So, I noticed something kind of interesting with the story of Kira's mirror and the idea of her using the light from the mirror to guide to guide the forces of Marduk, is that Kira uses this mirror to guide Marduk's forces. In doing so, she's basically creating a light in the sky. She does this by taking a tool that she was given by a trickster and shining it into the air to Okay, brain, let's organize here. She shines a light into the sky to guide Marduk to the hiding place of the evil demon Gemma.
Who do you work for?
Connor. Pretty soon he'll own the whole damn planet.
And...
When did the pirates attack?
They took us by surprise. After the gym.
What happened to the townspeople?
The Jinam plague?
Connor's looking for a slave worker that escaped from his prison base. If you see anyone suspicious, let me know.
What's so important about this guy?
None of your business.
That seems important. Should probably try and find him. Malcolm have any information about this? Nope.
Can I interest you in anything?
Do 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 do. Not much here.
Get away from me.
I'm a friend.
You're a pirate.
Well, that's unfortunate. Heck? Huh. Missed that earlier. Not useful now, but I got it, I guess.
Has this town felt the influence of Connor's pirates?
Connor? I'm afraid he'll destroy this town to get at me.
Why does Connor seek you?
I escaped from Connor's dungeons, under the Ankaran capital. He rules the shell from the old prison there. I stole a key to the place. It'll unlock the prison, if you can find a way in through the old subway access tunnels under the ground.
Does Connor have any spies in this town?
I hope not. If he finds me, I'm a dead man.
This place looks picked clean.
And so far, most of the pirates stay to the south, near the capital.
Alright, we got our key. The reason I'm taking this crew is related to that story I've been trying to think of and tell earlier. I don't know why my brain wasn't letting me organize anything. In the myth, Kira uses a source of light, the mirror, to guide Marduk into the lair of Gemma, with the assistance of Dogo the Trickster, in order to, you know, defeat Gemma. Gemma was obsessed with Kira, had some, you know, desires for her to be prettier for his sake. Obsessed with her physical form and the like.
This is a prison? Doesn't look big enough.
Oh, key doesn't work here. Actually, I think I know where... I think the subway might be in that little path next to the town. Just gotta remember exactly where it is there. And, yeah, the Old Mountain Highway does lead to the subway. That's how we got out of the other base. And so, interestingly enough, intentionally or otherwise, we actually sort of reenact that story earlier in the game. When Maya is disguised as the slave girl, she does so by bearing the tattoos of Kira, Thus the markings on Kira's body as tattoos. The Kira-obsessed individual, the one who represents Gemma in this story, is Connor, who we are now seeking out to defeat once and for all, hopefully. Or at the very least to get the mirror frame from him, because that's what we really need. And in the process of all this, we work alongside a hero with a personal vendetta to defeat Connor as a result of Connor's actions regarding said hero's father. Like, basically... Huh. I'm sure Torso Burst is another... covers the entire screen. It covers the entire screen and crap thing again, just like the last ones. Yeah, this ain't good. Oh, that's really not what I was hoping for. Shield up a bit. Seems like it's only barely enough to kill those guys. Is that a... Yeah, I do have Indicabil on him. Good, good. And, in the process leads Lobo in. Lobo is on a quest regarding the damage that Connor had done to his father. Similar to how Marduk is the son of the Creator, acting in the stead of the Creator, his father. And the ally of questionable repute, similar to Dogo the Trickster Demon, the one who facilitates this connection between all of the parties involved, is none other than Arim. So, incidentally, we sort of, you know, redo that old event. Is pretty interesting. It's fairly obvious that Maya and her team are supposed to be a sort of successor group to the Army of the Seven... the so-called Army of the Seven Winds. So it makes a lot of sense that, that they would maybe, you know, end up accidentally reliving these ancient conflicts. Alright. And that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and see you again next time.